We are back with more of My Southern Home, and I'm here with Christi Wedig with the Wedig Team and CMG Home Loans, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So I was so excited to have you on the show because you are a new construction specialist when it comes to home loans.
Yes, it's this area I love working in because we really get to help people realize their dreams and put it together from start to finish, from the pre-approval process to the final funding day.
Well, and a lot of people get confused when it comes to home loans, thinking they have to have all the money up front, but you guys make it so easy with the draws.
Yeah, we do. Our process is really simple. It's just like getting a regular mortgage. Well, you'll get pre-approved with the same type of documentation, and we can go up to an 89.9% loan to value, meaning you're only going to put about 10% down in total. And we can help finance everything from the land acquisition to the soft costs to the vertical construction. And the really great part about our program is while you're in construction, you're not making the full mortgage payment. You're actually only going to be making the interest portion of the payment on whatever has been drawn from the loan and the line of credit.
And it's a team when you're building a home. I've been through a lot of these scenarios with clients and then been on the back end with media. And you guys work so closely with the builder and the homeowner to make sure that everything runs smoothly.
Yes, we do. We have a whole team at CMG that's dedicated to construction financing. And so that team coordinates with the builder to make sure that they get the draws on time. We also help make sure that we're staying within the budgets and that the project's going to be completed on time. So a lot of times working with a lender is just one more person that can help keep the project on track while you're under construction.
Well, that's so important, Christi, because what a lot of people don't know is what that draw means is that you can move forward with the next phase of construction. So if you don't have a mortgage company that's on the ball like CMG, that's really going to create lag times in the build.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we are one of the nation's biggest construction lenders. We've done over $26 billion in construction lending last year, so we're really well versed with this process. And our goal is to help facilitate the process and move things along smoothly. Builders love working with us from start to finish because we don't put any roadblocks. We don't get in their way. We just try and make things happen for them.
Well, and you're a member of the Home Builders Association, Middle Tennessee, which is
am.
how we met. And you just have such strong relationships in the community as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Home Builders Association is such an important place to build those relationships that, you know, we've been able to really work with a lot of local builders and put them through our approval process so that we're ready to go. Once you have your plans and you know what you're wanting to do, we can dive in, and I can actually help connect you with some great builders as well, because I've met so many through the Home Builders Association.
You know, when you talk about dream homes, you know, there's a couple ways to do it. You can build from scratch, but you can also take your existing home, if you love the neighborhood and you love the area and the memories you built in it, and recreate it through remodeling. And you can help homeowners with that as well.
Yeah, I have a couple great options to help homeowners with that. The first thing that people think of is maybe a home equity line, but we also have a really unique product that's a renovation loan where we can refinance your existing mortgage and then finance in the cost of the renovation, so that when you are ready to go with your new plans, we finance everything. You can do the remodel and close that as if it were kind of like a construction loan, but you already own the home.
Christi, we've had a lot of up and downs when it comes to mortgage rates. What are you seeing in the future when it comes to loans and the interest rates that are out there?
Yes, that's a really good question that's on everybody's mind right now. You know, back in the early 2020 period when we were at those historic low levels, it really felt like a lot of sticker shock to go up into these higher rates. But you know, if you look at things historically, we're at a high, but we are starting to come down to a more normalized level. So this year, some of the critical things that we're watching for to help us get mortgage rates back where we'd like is, number one, we need to see the employment data soften a little bit. Interest rates are really heavily dependent on what we see in inflation. One of the primary drivers of inflation is the labor market that's a little overheated. And so we're starting to see that come into play, and the labor market is softening. We've seen inflation get under control. So we're hoping for 2025 that the expectation is that maybe we can get down into the sixes and stay there with some duration so that people can start to make plans. It's really difficult to plan your next purchase when mortgage rates are bouncing up and down, but we are starting to see more stability and sideways movement and even some improvement in those rates.
Well, and the builders are trying to help with that as well. You know, we're seeing a lot of incentives right now, sometimes up to $30,000, where that homeowner can buy down that rate and get that mortgage payment that they want.
Yeah, absolutely. For the last year, the new home builders have been really what's kept the housing market moving. By offering these incentives and by partnering with their preferred lenders, you can push that mortgage rate down. We've been seeing loans close in the 4% range with those seller concessions. So there's a lot of ways when you're dealing with new home construction, you have a lot more flexibility on that interest rate because the builders can help control how we apply those costs.
Well, I feel like the bottom line is people should just do their research and find the best home for them and the best price range. And you guys have so many options for people to choose from that there's always a way.
There is. Yeah, we have, CMG has one of the largest portfolio of loan products. We can work with everything from your traditional conventional loan to FHA to a very unique product that we have at CMG called the all-in-one loan. This is a principal first mortgage that on average cuts people's repayment time in half. If you've heard about infinite banking or any of those topics that have come up quite a bit where you use a HELOC to kind of hack your mortgage and lower the repayment period, CMG's all-in-one loan is kind of the originator of that. We've had that product for about 25 years. Something that's really fantastic. One thing I love about this loan is there's actually been no defaults the entire time that we've been using this all-in-one product loan. So it's a great way for people to get into their dream home, pay it off faster, and then the really amazing part is they don't lose access to the equity that they put in their home. It's an open line of credit that they can continue to tap into. We do that as a construction loan as well. So a lot of the new construction I've been doing lately has been falling into that all-in-one loan.
Well, thank you so much for providing us all this wonderful information.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We'll be back with more of My Southern Home in just a moment.